Okay, think we are live
All right.
from the Benekiva studios.
Hello, everyone.
So,
This is Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benekiva.
hey, I'm Bobby Srivastav, co-founder and chief product officer of Benekiva. Last week, we talked about remote employees, and this week we'll just continue and wrap up our thoughts on remote employees. We talked about our 3T principle, and part of the 3T principle, we talked about having that open, honest communication and transparency. What we want to spend today on is the whole notion of PDR. Brent, do you want to share some thoughts
Yeah,
on
as
that?
soon as we say PDR, people think of the old beer, right? PBR. But PDR for us is practice, drill, rehearse. And we take this notion very seriously in Benekiva. And what it basically means is, don't go into client potential meetings, just winging it. Spend some time and really research the pain points of the client that you're going to see. Research, what they do, their online presence. Unfortunately, you can get some feedback, some Google feedback of maybe some reviews and things like that. So what we do at Benekiva when we're talking to any potential client is we go through that whole research process. But then prior to the meeting, we do what we call PDR, and that's practice, drill, rehearse, where we will actually practice the presentation that we're going to give, and we'll drill each other on potential questions that might come up or potential issues that might come up. And then we rehearse those. And so we get it to a point to where when we actually do our meeting, it just flows like we've done it 100 times, when in reality, we probably have for certain clients. And the reason I believe this is important is we shared some really good news last week. We landed our next client, very large client, and we'll start working with them here shortly. But when we look at, the sales process and what we did to get to that point, everybody looks at it and goes, wow, you landed this big client. What they don't see is the 9 to 12 months of practice, drill, rehearse that we did to get us to that point of landing that client. What do you think, Bobby?
No, I absolutely agree. And going back to that example, right, when we were invited to that RFI process, we spent a lot of time, and we started when we found out that we were, in this process with a few other companies. And I think that was back in late January, early February. And
Yeah.
what the first thing we did was we created a project plan that
Yes.
said, every week, what are we going to focus on? And instead of chipping away a document at, hey, let's just spend like 2 hours and get it done. Honestly, guys, been doing this for a long time. That doesn't work out. You're going to just get like half, what answers, and it's not going
Yeah.
to be, it's not, you have to put some thought and effort, because when you deliver that, people are going to know that you did put that thought and effort. People can sniff through work. They can sniff through your presentation. They can sniff through your documents that you produce, because I can, and I know other people in the industry, they can as well. So we just put a lot of time and effort, and we met, and it wasn't, and if you think about it, that was time well spent, because we learned from it, we grew from it, and we landed a client from it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 So PDR, practice, drill, rehearse. We recommend you take that thought process into your companies. And, Bobby and I would certainly be happy to share kind of how we do things here at Benekiva. But it's a great concept. Learned it many, many years ago in my financial advisory business. Took that same concept and used it there as well, talking about, don't just go into a client meeting. Don't just go into a prospect meeting. Just, spend a little time and practice, drill, and rehearse. Yep.
so such a easy thing to say, but it's a discipline. It's a
It is.
disciplined approach.
It
So
is. Awesome.
Okay, guys, until next time, we'll come up with another topic that we'll share our thoughts.
See ya.
Thank you. Perfect.
Awesome.